Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing my September reading wrap up, all the books that I read in September, and I'm doing it in the style of 3 words or phrases. And I read 11 books. Most of them are physical books. Some of them I definitely and read with audio, and one of them was audio entirely because it was a novella only available on Audible. But I'm just gonna go ahead and get right into it. So let's go ahead and get started. First up, I have Abby Jimenez, Yours Truly. I rated this one 2.5 stars. The 3 words I have for this are anxiety, miscommunication, and childish. Before I even read this book, I heard that it had a serious miscommunication trope, and I wouldn't consider it like a trope for the book, but the male main character has anxiety. He's very like upfront about this. He has accountability for this. He is managing it to the best of his ability. He's not using it as a crutch or an excuse. And like, I very much respect and admire that for him. The female main character has not been identified as having anxiety. However, she makes some decisions in this book that are like, why won't you just open up your mouth and say what you need to say, or say what you're thinking, or ask a question? And you're making all these snap decisions and you're being moody and like, well, you should just know. She doesn't say this, but like, that's the vibe it was giving. And I'm like, you're so smart, you're a doctor, why are you being so childish and immature, and like you don't know the right way to move in these types of situations? It was very frustrating and I couldn't freaking wait to finish it. 2.5 stars. Next, I have Happy Place by Emily Henry. This is the first book that I've read from her. I rated it 3 stars. And the 3 words I have for this are vacation, friendship, and forgettable. I actually put that in my review. I was like, it was cool. It was a nice fun time. I could see someone reading it on vacation. However, in 3 months, I'm definitely going to forget everything that happened in this book. And I'm not even going to hold you. It hasn't even been 3 months and I've forgotten the majority of this book. But it is fake dating, a couple who's engaged. They end up getting unengaged, but their friends don't know about that. And they have to go on this like large vacation with their friends and kind of pretend to still be together. It was cute. That's literally, I'm so sorry. I don't remember too much. I remember it was cute. I remember, like, I will say that if I read this on vacation, it would stick a little bit better because vacations are inherently like given core memories. So anything and everything that happens on vacation, it's going to stick better. So if you did take this on vacation, I feel like it would like resonate better and more for you. I would also kind of categorize this as like small town. The vacation spot that they go to is in a small town, but you don't really get a lot of the small town vibes or like interactions because they're not from there. But it was decent. Next, I have Between Friends and Lovers by Shirlene Obuobi. I rated this one 3 stars. The 3 words I have for this are messy, love triangle, and selfless for Malcolm, the main male character. This is obviously a love triangle from what you can assume. We're looking at the cover of the 3 people. The female main character, Jo, has had it bad for her male best friend, Ezra, for years. At the beginning of the book, she kind of expresses that to him and he just kind of like ignores that, or like he kind of, to be fair, he kind of gets pulled away and he doesn't respond instantly. Before he does respond, he gets pulled away to something else. And then she's like, well, that went terribly, and just kind of ghosts him. She meets Malcolm. I pointed to the wrong guy. She meets Malcolm, who is he's someone who dates with a purpose, intentionally. He's not just looking for hookups. Jo is a virgin and she's wanting to rip the band-aid off with Malcolm, and he's like, well, sorry baby girl, I'm not really down with that. Like, I like you, I'm interested in you, like getting to know you for you, and like I'm really not interested in just jumping into bed for the sake of jumping into bed. Like, the deal is, like, if we're gonna date, we're gonna get to know each other like actual humans. Like, don't just use me for my body. Like, that's not cool with me. That's not how it's about to go down. And she's like, well, okay, but I'm still in love with my ex. Not my ex, I'm not even her ex. I'm still in love with my best friend. And for some reason, like, and I didn't like that. And it was a good book. Like, it was a pleasant reading experience. I'm going to lean into saying that it was a pleasant reading experience, but like I didn't like what went down in the book. Next, I have Legendborn by Tracy. This is also 3 stars from me. And the 3 words I have are secret society, grief, and confusing. So the main female character, Bree, her mom dies at the beginning of the book, and she's obviously grieving that loss. She is kind of having like up and down depressive episodes. She has like a split like time period, the before Bree and after Bree, with her mom being that like turning point situation. She goes to a college for like early acceptance program while she's still a senior in high school, and she finds herself like upon the secret society that has magical powers that has something to do with the descendants of King Arthur, and it may or may not have something to do, like the book may or may not have something to do with like the actual story of King Arthur, but I don't know enough about that at all for it to like click. So the magical system, the creatures, and literally the secret society, all of it was so hard for me to follow and grasp. And like this is something that needs to be annotated. I'm not an annotating girly as of this time, but like it could stand to be annotated, and it could stand to be like tandem read, audiobook, and reading it physically. And for me to go on to book 2, which was also supposed to be in my September TBR, like I need to reread this because what like it has potential to be like a good book. It's just it was too much for me at the time. Next, I have The Only One Left by Riley Sager. I rated this one 3 stars. The words I have for this are busybody, unalivers, and boring until the end. So this is one of the thrillers that has a female main character that is a busybody who is trying to discover the truth behind something that is none of your business. And this book has solidified for me that I don't want to read any more of those types of thrillers at all. If it's not your job to find out what the heck happened, you're nosy, you're a busybody, and I don't want to go through this journey with you. It's very irritating to me. So that's the kind of premise of this. The female main character was accused of contributing to the unaliving of her mom. She ends up working for a woman who has been accused of unaliving her entire family, and she takes it upon herself to get to the bottom of, did this woman really unalive her entire family? And the whole story is kind of just that, her finding out a crumb of information and like amplifying it, and finding out another crumb and like amplifying it, and then at the end like it all kind of unfolds and we found out what really happens and how this person is connected to this person and blah 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 blah. But the grand majority of the story was very boring, and I'm very disappointed that everyone feels like this is Riley Sager's best book and like you have to read it, which is why I picked it up, because it's supposed to be the best Riley Sager book. And from y'all's hype, I don't want to read any more Riley Sager. This will be the last Riley Sager I read if I have anything to do with it. So take with that what you will. Next I have ESS Cosby, All the Sinners Bleed. I rated this one 3 stars. In the book, the 3 words I have for this book are 764 characters, triggering, and detective. So unlike the Riley Sager book, the main character in this book, Titus, is actually the sheriff of the county. So there has been a mass school shooting, and the detective, Titus, obviously has to get to the bottom of the school shooting, the motive, all the people involved, all that stuff. So yes, there is like an investigation going on throughout this book. We are again following Titus as he uncovers all of these things, and it is appropriately placed. Like, it doesn't bother me one bit when we're finding out information, or where he's asking questions, or when he's calling in reinforcements and backup and making decisions and talking to people and coming to, like, it doesn't bother me. This is his job, and he is skilled and equipped to do so, and he is skilled and equipped should something go left. So like, that just fits with me. Anyways, there are a lot of characters in this book, and it was kind of to the detriment of like the climax in my experience, like in my opinion, because I'm like, who is this again? When did we meet this person? Huh? Like it didn't click as well. I will say the experience of reading it was like engaging, but it was just hard to connect. It was hard to connect because there were so many characters. Also, I say triggering because once we kind of learn the why behind the school shooting and like the motive of the players involved, it is very disturbing. It is depicted in the book in detail, not great detail, like it's not a lot, but it is graphic. It's not a lot of it. It is graphic and it is disturbing. I wouldn't lean this into the horror genre at all, but depending on if you're triggered by anything, like definitely look into that. If you want to go into thrillers blind, like I won't give you the triggers because it could spoil it for you, but definitely look into that. All right, next I have Fire Between High and Low by Brittainy Cherry. 3 words. I rated this one 3 stars, but upon reflection, I feel like this could be 3.5 stars. So I might amend that after I finish filming this. But the 3 words I have for this are addiction, gripping, and found family. So this is a part of the Element series by Brittainy Cherry. This is book 2. They're not interconnected. They're not related, the series at all. Like the characters, the towns, the plot's premise, nothing is interconnected. It's just the titles have elements in them. But anyways, yes, this centers around a male and female character who are best friends turned lovers. They come from 2 different walks of life, and the male main character, suffers from addiction. His mom suffers from addiction. His dad is the person who got them hooked on the things that they're addicted to, and it's very difficult to watch. It's difficult for him to experience. It's difficult for him to try to manage his mom's addiction while he's fighting the demons of his own. And the female main character is trying her best to support him, but from what I don't have experience personally with anyone dealing with addiction in this way, but from what I gather in this, it's difficult for him, the male main character, to let someone in and to trust and to be independent, and or let someone not be independent, but to let someone in and to trust that they care for them and love them and they don't have ulterior motive, especially considering your dad is one who, like, one of the 2 people put on earth that are supposed to be given caretakers and providers, and that are supposed to like love you, and this person just let you down tremendously. There's some found family in this, and I always find found family to be just like a cinnamon roll, like warm muffin, like hot cocoa, just cozy, comforting. I love found family. The addiction part of this was, I won't say hard, it wasn't hard to read, but it was very gripping. It was very heart-wrenching and emotionally hitting. I gave this a 3/3.5 just simply because I didn't feel it as much, and I think unfairly I probably compared this to how I felt about the first book, but even so, in and of itself, as a standalone, it was a wonderful book. Next I have Coming Home by Kennedy Ryan. This was a novella only available on Audible, and with that said, I read it on Audible as an audiobook. I rated it 3.5 stars. The 3 words I have for this are HBCU, homecoming, and journalism. So the male main character has a daughter who goes to the HBCU that him and the female main character went to when they were in college, and the daughter has been named homecoming queen. He uses this opportunity to kind of reconcile with her, or like mend some wounds, because he has been not as present as she would have liked, or as he would have liked. But she's like 21 now. Like, not it's too late, but like, wow, did it take you a long time to realize the error of your ways. And I can see, like, from both sides of it, you know, the whole dynamic of that. But As far as the romance part of it, the male and female main characters were kind of like the one that got away for each other in college. They had a brief thing. He ends up doing an overseas or like abroad, what's it called, study abroad for his last year of college, and they didn't get the opportunity to kind of explore anything until this book. And I thought it was really, really sweet. The only thing, which is what I say about a lot of short stories or novellas, is that I wish there was more. If there was more, I could definitely see this being a 4, maybe a 5-star read, but it just wasn't. And that it was audio. Like, I wish I would have had it on like a physical copy, but as far as I know, it's not available that way, but I'll look. Next, I have Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I rated this one 4 stars. This one, the words I have for this are small, magical town. He falls hard, and medicine. Medicine because our female main character is a doctor. I think she does emergency medicine, or she's an ER doctor. Yeah, she's an ER doctor. And she ends up driving through this small town. She has the textbook meet cute with the male main character. She gets like a flat tire. She gets stuck in a ditch. He pulls her out. It's like, all right, you have fun now, you're here. And then they might wind up meeting at a bar, end up having a one-night stand type situation. And she's like, oh, that's all it's gonna be. And of course it's not all it's gonna be. There's also age gap in this. He falls hard, down bad. Like, I don't remember if he actually cried or I just like envision him crying, but like he's like, baby please. You remember that the scene from A Different World when Whitley's getting married to the other guy and he's like, I'll have you to love you, whatever, to having to hold from this day forward, please marry me, baby please. Like, that's how I pictured this man when she was trying to leave him. But I adored it, very much adored it. Then I have Abby Jimenez, Just for the Summer. This is book 4. This is book 3 in the series, but I rated it 4 stars. The 3 words I have for this are curse, avoidant attachment, and he falls hard. In this one, you already know the premise about the curse and everything like that, but he falls hard. But I'm like, why? Like, yes, they clicked, they had things in common, and she's beautiful, they're all handsome, but it didn't translate to me on page, like why he fell so hard so fast, why she fell so hard so fast. Like, it just didn't translate. Maybe it was the curse, so I'm gonna chalk it up to that. But he definitely like wanted more from her, like immediately, if not sooner. And avoidant attachment because of the female main character's upbringing, that very much has played into her relationships, and especially in this book. So it was very enlightening to read, very, very enlightening to read. The author credits licensed clinical physicians in the area of trauma and mental health and avoidant attachment styles to be able to because to show that she's done her research and that she has had direction in how to portray such internal conflicts. So I think it was done well, and I very much enjoyed it. And then finally, I have When I Think of You by Myah Ariel. I rated this one 4.5 stars. The 3 words or phrases I have for this are thumbs down, MMC. All right, we'll get to it. Film/TV and self-sabotage, ? So I said thumb down, male main character, because I don't want to say he's trash. But like, so, okay, I'm gonna caveat this with saying, like, I know people like this. Do I know her? Like, I know her. I know this person. I know people who have gone through experiences very much like this. And if this were my friend, I would have told her to leave his crusty butt. But alas, it's a romance book. Obviously, that's not going to happen. There's going to be some redeeming qualities and all that stuff, but just the reading experience was top freaking tier. And like, to see like the back and forth, like it was dramatic for sure. I think it made for a good book. It wasn't frustrating dramatic. It was like, wow, this is crazy type of dramatic, if that makes any sense. Film TV, he's a director. She has dreams of becoming a director or producer, but she's stuck as like an assistant. And that's why I said self-sabotage, because like you're stuck as an assistant and you're kind of settling for that, knowing you deserve more, knowing you're capable of more, knowing you're worth more, but yet you've been here for years and years. Like, why? And I'm not saying that like to shame her at all. Like I said, I know these people, I know her. In some aspects, I have been her. So like, I'm not saying that to shame her at all. It's just, I want more for you and you want more for you, and I want you to have it. And eventually we kind of see the journey and the growth to that point. But this was so enjoyable. It was so relatable. It was so real. It was so frustrating, like, because of him. Normally I'm on the side of the male main character. This is the last book. I'm on the side of the male main character, but I was not rooting for him. Like, I don't like him. I kind of didn't want her to be with him. I wanted her to have her happy ending, but I don't like him. I don't trust him. I think he's full of BS. All right, if you know, you know. Well, I don't know. Read the book. You read the book, or if you read the book, let me know what you thought of what's his name. David, Daniel, I'm getting him confused. Danny. Let me know what you think of Danny. Let me know. I want to know. Am I tripping? Just tell me if I'm tripping. But that's all the books that I read this month. Hopefully you liked this solid video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. I tried to keep it as succinct as possible. This is my second time filming it. Okay, the first time it was over 30 minutes, so I did my best. But that's all I have for the month of September. Stay tuned for October's reading wrap up. If you have watched my TBR for the fall or for October, let me know which books you want me to read and I will prioritize them, so you'll see my thoughts in the reading wrap up for next month. Other than that, please give the video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so before you leave, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.